Sanırsam var değil mi? Ha, okay. İngilizce bilmeyen var mı? Is there anybody who cannot speak or understand English? Okay. Then at least I will continue in English. And I think the presentations will be given in English and in Turkish, depending on the need. Okay. I'm Bülent Düşpınar. I'm from the Unisemre Institute. I'm the director of the strategy department responsible for this project. I am here with my friends from the department. And I'm very happy to see you all here. I prepared a written speech and I will read that. But before that, I just want to say that once more. I'm very happy to see that this project is at last is to be implemented. It is in the implementation phase. Okay. Before beginning my short speech, it's really short, I would like to thank the Directorate of EU Affairs and Mr. Bülent Özcan for their kindness to host this event in their premises and for all their help and guidance in the very long adventure of this great project. EU-Turkey Intercultural Dialogue project is co-funded by the EU and Turkey under civil society subsector, that is democracy and governance sector. I hope I put it correctly. I want to thank EU delegation, if they're here, for their generous support and contribution. We have been working very hard with CFCU on this project for almost 1 year, and I would like to thank them for their guidance and hard work and patience. I would like to welcome the representatives of unique members. As far as I remember, we have British Council, Alliance France or French Institute, and the Archaeology Institute of, again, France. I haven't written the name, sorry if it's mistaken, and Balashe Institute of Hungary, and also the universities and civil sector organizations. And I would like to thank them for being here today with us. I hope it will be fruitful for them. It's very important that we came together and we use this unique chance to get to know each other well before the official opening event. I believe this will contribute a lot to the successful implementation of the projects, but more important than that is it will strengthen the dialogue between the stakeholders of the projects. I would like to extend my thanks to the TAT technical assistance team and our project management team for the organization of this meeting. It has been a very long process, but as I have just said, I am very happy that we have managed to meet at last and we can talk about the projects that I'm sure will contribute a lot to the cultural dialogue and relations between Turkey and EU countries. These projects, in total 4, will also show us how much national cultural institutions, universities and civil society organizations can do to further the aim of cultural dialogue. There will be presentations today and special training sessions within the opening events about the technical and procedural issues, and I am sure everybody will do their best to follow the EU rules to make sure that we won't have any problems regarding the visibility rules, procurement, reporting, etc. And I am sure project management team, technical assistant team, and CFCU will always be there to help you. For this reason, I will leave it to the TAT presentation to deal with this part of the issue. As Unisemre Institute, we have 15 cultural centers within the boundaries of European Union and 30 in total in Europe, including the Unisemre Institute chair we have just started in Dublin Trinity College. That shows how important EU is for us as institutes, representing a country that has aspired to be an EU member since ages. From this perspective, I am very happy that we now have 4 different multi-sectoral, multinational grant projects as part of the International Cultural Dialogue, which will create many opportunities for the cultural dialogue between EU and Turkey. The experience we will gain from this implementation of the projects and the technical assistance we will receive will contribute a great deal to our capacity to design and implement intercultural projects in Turkey and in Europe. As Unisemre Institute, like UNIC, we see our mission not as projecting Turkish culture onto the people of host countries only, but also as to seek and create opportunities to encourage cultural interaction and dialogue. We have many long-term and large-scale international projects like Turkish Summer School, GPDNet, Turkish Cinema Summer School, Habib, etc. And we want to start new ones like these. In all these projects, our role is to create bonds and to further friendship with other countries. Even in Turkish Summer School, which is very Turkish by name, one of the four goals we pursue is to create opportunities between the different cultures from around the world that we host in almost 30 different cities. That is why we have very high expectations of ICD and multinational grant projects to be implemented within it. With this third station, we have been working on the second phase of ICD, and we want to adopt it as one of our long-term projects, and we'll also fund similar projects with our own sources. I am sure at the end of 2 years, all the parties around this table, Yunus Emre Institute, UNIC members, universities, civil sector organizations, all will have developed their capacity for intercultural dialogue and will have contributed a lot to the cultural relations between Turkey and EU, and will thus have done a lot against the emerging and rising xenophobia that threaten the very values we name European. The success of the grant projects and technical assistance projects will pave the way for future ICD programs and make it possible to design ICD as a sector under which hundreds of similar projects by hundreds of different institutions, universities, civil sector organizations implemented. Before ending my speech, I would like to thank all the parties once more and state my belief that we will witness a very close cooperation, common understanding and dialogue between all the stakeholders of this project, which will form an effective network among the unit members, universities, civil sector organizations, and Yunus Emre Institute. Thank you for listening and for your patience.
Well, thank you so much. First of all, I apologize being a little bit late. We have to discuss an issue for tomorrow because we will have a mission from the Brussels for tomorrow. So it is an important mission. So the preparation is still ongoing. So that's why late. Sorry for that. Welcome to the orientation program under the Intercultural Dialogue project, which is financed under Institute for Pre-Accession. My name is Bülent Özcan. I'm the Director General for Financial Cooperation and Project Implementation under the Directorate for EU Affairs. So the Directorate for EU Affairs is the coordination institution for both IPA funds in Turkey and also for civil society sector under the IPA funding. So this project is one of the project financed under the civil society sector. So this is also one of the important projects from our point of view. So my colleague name is also Bülent, and my name is Bülent. So to Bülent today representing you the introduction. So we are lucky you have some wishes for within these two names, because there is a tradition in Turkey. If there is two names and you are over there, so for you it's an opportunity to wish. So good luck for your wishes. So I would like to again welcome you all for this orientation program. I'm sure it will be very fruitful for you, because we know that on the one side it is very good opportunities in your project, very creative ideas, a lot of activities, lots of things. All of the projects have great objectives on the one side, but on the other side there are rules, there are procedures that you have to follow concerning the EU funds. Turkey is a candidate country, so the EU funds are strictly implemented in Turkey as a candidate country, not in the as flexible in the member countries. So you have to be in details of the Prague rules, grant rules. So this orientation program will be a very important opportunity for you to follow these procedures and the rules on the one side. On the other side, of course, we have 4 projects within this intercultural grant program, and within this project there are some similar ideas, but of course there are some differences that in which way you can cooperate, you can learn each other, you can have synergies during the implementation. So it's an opportunity to better know the details of your projects within this orientation. So it will be very, very helpful for you, I'm sure. Considering the technical assistance team that during the orientation that will help to you. Of course, we have a very talented and skillful project team here that will assist you during the orientation of the implementation of the project. Vedat Bey, the grant expert, we have very great experience with him during the implementation also of our projects in the past time. Yeşim Hanım also concerning the communication side, I'm sure she will improve your creativity within your projects, within her assistance. Simon Forster, I'm sure again, as the representative of the consortium, will assist you on the basis of his experience in Turkey. It will be very, very helpful. But on the other side, the beneficiary institution, Yunus Emre, is also very, very important for us. It is still, an institution for Turkey, for growing its, let me say, impact on the field of culture. That's very important for Turkey. So it will be very, very also from your side, a great opportunity to work in close cooperation under the umbrella of Yunus Emre. So it will be a very, very important opportunity within this grant program. As I mentioned, this project, Turkey-EU Intercultural Dialogue Program, is one of the projects financed under the civil society sector, under the practitioner funds. So what is civil society sector? Concerning the civil society sector, our main goal is to improve the capacity building of civil society institutions in Turkey. So this is one of the main, let me say, objective of the civil society sector under the IPO funds. But of course, this capacity building have some different, let me say, stages, some different minor objectives than we have looking at the great picture. On the one side, capacity building could be done through the making, let me say, legislative environment, supporting the legislative environment in Turkey in favor of the civil society. So this is on the one side, this is one leg. The second one is to improve the public and NGO dialogue. So this is also another objective, minor objective under this great objective. Of course, supporting civil societies in their working fields, so to better functioning. So this is also one of the another minor objective, I could say, specific objective under this field. And finally, to improve the dialogue between Turkey and EU civil society institutions is also another, let us say, specific objective under this civil society sector. So the intercultural dialogue program is 100% fits with this dialogue specific objective to improve the dialogue between Turkey and EU, especially in the field of civil society. So that's why we developed this project. That's why we support this project under IPO funding. So I'm sure when we are looking at the composition of the grants, there is a very good, let me say, partnerships between institutions from Turkey and also especially from the applicants from the EU countries, especially the cultural institutes. That's very important. So within the field of culture, this dialogue will be very, very helpful for us. Not only to improve the dialogue between the societies between Turkey and EU in the field of culture, but also it's important for also to support the activities, to support the facilities of Yunus Emre to build up these cultural bridges between Turkey and all over the world, but especially, of course, the EU countries. So that's why, I mean, This project is under the umbrella of eco-funding, I could say. So you are at the very beginning. We have already, with the support of Yunus Emre, already supporting you for the implementation of the project. But of course, Yunus Emre is the lead institution. Yunus Emre is the main beneficiary who will directly work with you. But as a director for EU Affairs, under the Minister of Foreign Affairs, we will always appreciate to support your works during the implementation of your grant projects. So please be always in contact, of course, with the cooperation of Yunus Emre. We will appreciate to be with you during the implementation of your projects. That will be very important. From our directorate, Duygu Yardımcı, Mrs. Duygu Yardımcı is the coordinator, on our side. So works very closely with Yunus Emre within this project, and also she will be the contact point from our directorate that if you would like to contact during the implementation, and she will assist you for the implementation of the projects. So I would like to convey our messages for good luck for the implementation. That's very important because fruitful implementation of the project is very important within these grants. And also, as I mentioned, we are at the very beginning. I'm sure by establishing contacts both on your between the grant other grant projects and also between Yunus Emre and us, your implementation will be much more fruitful, and we will cooperate during the implementation of this program, I could say. Thanks for your participation. I hope it will be a fruitful meeting for 2 days within this orientation. Again, good luck for the implementation. Thank you.
I think it's your turn now.
Okay. Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm going to carry on with the introductions. Thank you very much for the Bulents. My wish is that we have more Bulents. I like the idea of this. My name is Simon Forrester, so I'm the Technical Assistance Team Leader. And what I wanted to do is just to clarify a little bit who is doing what, because maybe for some of you it might be a little bit confusing to hear lots of names of people, and so I wanted to clear up who is doing what. And actually, to begin with, from the Yunus Emre Institute, perhaps we could just, the team from the Institute could just introduce themselves. We have the names on the slide here, so perhaps Zeynep and Mesut would like to introduce themselves, and then colleagues who are at the back here.
Well, yeah, it's me. My name is Abdullah Mesut. Yeah, I'm also a member of the people.
Welcome, I am Zeynep Öztürk, as an expert in strategic development department. I'm responsible for conducting ICD since 2015. I hope it would be a good implementation process with these 4 well-designed and fruitful projects. We will work. Sorry. Okay, that's all.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Fuat Korkmaz. I'm from the strategy department also, and responsible for the Europe's knowledge breach. We're going to work with Image and Babil co-applicants. Welcome.
Welcome all. I'm Nurullah Yavaş. I'm working as an expert in strategic development department. We will work together with Mr. Fuat for Intercultural project. Again, welcome all. Nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you very much. So The Yunus Emre Institute team has a team of external consultants to support them in the implementation. And you've already heard a little bit about our team. Vedat Onur is our grant expert, and you will hear a lot from him today. He's going to be leading a lot of the sessions to introduce you to some of the key procedures in managing your grants. Yeshim, you've also heard from, is our communication guru. So she will also this afternoon have a discussion with you about how we promote the intercultural dialogue collectively, which is something very important that we need to achieve all together. We have some other experts in the TA team who will also join us perhaps this afternoon. We're launching an online monitoring information system to help you as grantees in the management, and the expert doing that will join us this afternoon, and we'll also talk for a very short time about the MIS. He's Erkan. And we also have our operational people. So you've already heard from Musa, who sent you the emails to bring you here, and we have Orhan, our project assistant, and Guz there also is part of the consortium who helps backstopping on the project. So this is our technical assistance team, and we will be working closely with the Yunus Emre Institute team. So as the 4 grant-funded projects, you will be hearing from us collectively, but the lead is with the Yunus Emre team, and we're in the shadows providing the technical support. So that's who we are. Now we have 4 wonderful projects that we need to introduce this morning. I would like to ask, we put you around the table according to your projects, and it's nice to see so many of you. I think we weren't quite expecting so many, which is why the room were a bit squeezed this morning. But it's really good to see you all here. What I wanted to do is whether I can ask each team of each of the grant projects if you could introduce yourselves as individuals, and then maybe for one of you, for 3 or 4 minutes to introduce your project, just so that we all get to know who is doing what. A very brief introduction to the project, 3-4 minutes maximum. I'm sure that you could probably talk a very long time about your projects, but we have the whole day together, so we'll have other opportunities to be exchanging our ideas of what we are doing during today. So just for now, a short introduction will do. So if it's okay, maybe we'll just go around the table this way, but we'll do it first as the French Institute for Anatolian Studies, to ask you to begin your introductions and about your project, and then we'll move to the next team.
So, hello everyone, I'm Léonie Strupler from the French Institute for Anatolian Research. I'm a researcher, I'm a personnel archaeologist, and so lead applicants here for this project. And the aim of a project, I would say as basis, working with Imece and Babel, is to make a documentary on Neolithic in mainly Turkey to show how innovation moved from the Near East to Europe, going through Anatolia and changing how ID exchange in Anatolia went from the southeast to the northwest into Europe. And around this project, we will have a lot of different activities and filming, interview with persons, 3 colloquia, one in Istanbul in Sofia in Bulgaria, and the third one in Athens in Greece. And I could talk a lot. Maybe we find, I hope, other occasion to discuss more details during the day.
And your team,
Yes,
colleagues?
yes. So maybe it's Belgian, Hanim, so who is making our financial accountancy, Seville with project coordinator, Jali Dike with the assistant project coordinator, Kuru who is representing Imece, and
Documentary and Production Director.
from Babel.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. Very nice to welcome all of you. The Hungarian Cultural Centre, perhaps you can introduce yourself.
I'm actually from Hungarian Cultural Center, consultant of Hungary Istanbul, and cultural official there, and I'm responsible for the project management from our side. We have two very valuable partners from Turkey, the Turkey Europe Foundation, who delegates our project coordinator, also Mr. Ferhat Akman, and Karen Cultural Association agency, help us with the content part. Also, we have here a cultural assistant from our institute and our financial management here. And who is also our financial manager of the Consul General in general. So our project is a little bit more contemporary, of course. We go with our age, and our aim is to trigger intercultural dialogue between the Danube region and Turkey, with a huge number of activities, including the anthology of the Danube region literature, also including two literature festivals, which will be more like multi-art festivals of the actually already done by the association, the Continental Media Festival, and we aim to bring this culture, and it also includes a competition on this topic, the Days of the Danube. So we have 3 levels basically of where we are going to make this intercultural dialogue broader. One with artist exchange, and second with cultural practice building trainings, and we also aim to target the broader audience with Danube events all around Turkey, 8 cities of the country, and also using because we are similar to in summer we have a lot of cultural institutes also around Europe, so using our network we will bring Turkish artists and promoting these artist exchanges in Romania and Serbia and Hungary and Vienna, Austria, and we will also have local producers showing the outputs of these exchanges for the general public of the European Union.
We also have CFCU, Saygı Bey, and Seda Hanım. Thank you.
We don't have project, but we
You have all projects.
all projects are we can introduce ourselves. My name is Saygı Tozu. I'm coordinator at CFCU at Grand Section. My colleague Seda Hanım is also responsible from the projects at CFCU level, and I'm sure you met with her during the signature process, or at least you can talk or email with her. We are happy to be here, and I don't want to waste any time, so the next project can continue.
Okay, yeah, please.
Yes, this is Cansu Otoman from the British Council. I work in the arts. I will briefly introduce the project, and then my colleagues will introduce themselves. We are approaching intercultural dialogue through the perspective of creative hubs and communities, and the creative communities they built. And our project is called Connect for Creativity. We have Abdullah Gül University and Atölye, a creative hub from Istanbul, as our partners from Turkey, and we have Nova Iskra from Belgrade and Bios from Greece as our partners. We are still working on our elevator pitch for the project and how it will contribute to intercultural dialogue, but we strongly believe that these creative people working in these communities are great ambassadors to connecting with other cultures and building dialogue to new forms of work, new forms of creative collaboration, and new artworks at the intersection of culture, entrepreneurship, and technology. So can you start with
Sure. My name is Esra. I'm from Intercultural University, Kayseri, and more specifically, I'm from the Youth Factory unit of the university. We're partners of the British Council in that project, and I'll be the research assistant now. Youth Factory, to introduce briefly, is basically it's a unit that is recognized by Higher Education Council in Turkey as Youth Work Research and Implementation Center. What we do is we're the core unit of the university, not only academically but also in administrative ways. We try to introduce students, not just IB students, but all Turkish youth, regardless of whether they're students or not, to intercultural dialogue, exploring international experiences, and we give trainings and train them on opportunities to go abroad. That's basically what we do.
Hi, it's Miraban Bouchard, and working as a finance director in British Council. And we just do all type of studies for all projects and grant projects in British Council from the finance point of view. So it will be just an ongoing program. Thank you.
Hi, this is Emre. I'm from the Atölye Collective Innovation and Design Association. I run all the communications and events at Atölye, and I'm happy to be partnered with our major partner, British Council, and also the other partners for this Connect for Creativity project as a new hub and person in that sector.
And Esra Aysun, also from the British Council, acting as Head of Arts. I will be responsible for the successful implementation of the project and giving my support to Cansu, who will be leading the project as our project manager. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I should also add that we are streaming the meeting, because I think you have some colleagues from the UK who maybe were joining us on online.
Well, we have colleagues from Brussels, Serbia,
So if they're listening, let's welcome them as well. Thank you all very much. So, Institut Français.
Okay, I'm from the French Institute. My name is Fehmi, and we are three here together. I am the team leader, but as you said, you don't have a project. I'm the team leader, but I don't have a team here with me. And they are Goethe Institute, Dutch Embassy, and İKSV, they are our partners. And when I first heard about the name of this project, it is Be Mobile, Create Together, I thought it is something related to a telecommunication company, which is not. It is not. It has nothing to do with mobile phones, but it is about the mobility of the artists. And so it is going to be France, Germany, and the Netherlands. And there are going to be many artists who are going to move in the sense physically, geographically, and also culturally. And they are going to have the opportunity to work together. And this is the main idea of the project. Maybe you can present the stuff with you.
Ludovic Duponchel, I'm the General Secretary from the French Institute, so I will support the team for the implementation of the project, Be Mobile, Create Together.
And she's very important because she's going to take everything related to finance.
Great. Well, thank you all very much indeed. You really kind of whet the appetite to want to know much more about the project and the activities. It all sounds very exciting. I'm going to hand over to my colleague Vedat, who's going to start the process on the technical side. But I think Vedat would like to say something.
Vedat, please. Before giving floor to Vedat, I have to leave, so I apologize for that. But it is very important from my side to also to little bit deeply know what you will be doing in your project. So the content of the project is very important for us. Of course, we will receive more from your side during the implementation process, but all the projects are really considering the contents very important because touch upon the different side of the cultural dialogue. That's very important. So it's a kind of a very good umbrella. I mean, if all the projects are same, so this is the same dialogue. But now, as far as we understood, it is from the different types of the cultural sector. That's very important. Before we, I would like to make a very brief information about the future opportunities of the projects under the civil society sector. That's important because I'm sure all your projects will have very important outputs, very great outcomes during the implementation, and I'm sure you would like to continue to what you have developed within your project. So there are some good opportunities for this year under the civil society sector. There will be two call for proposals, I would say. One is again in the field of culture. It's called as not intercultural dialogue, but common cultural dialogue this time. The name is the same, but the program will mainly focus on the mobility of, especially the artists, and also the sharing information and sharing experience in the field of culture, and also preservation of culture, and also in the arts. So it's a program like that. It's a grant program like yours, but not as large scale as yours, because you have an opportunity, a large scale grant up to 500,000 euro, but this time it is up to 200,000 euro. This time the beneficial institution who will implement the grant will the Minister of Culture, not Yunus Emre. Again, it will be announced by CFCU, so the CFCU will be the contracting authority. But this is under our program, under the civil society sector of IPA funds. But this program is mainly, the applicants of this program could be the civil society institutions, like associations, foundations, or CSOs under the legislation of the applicant country, not the cultural institute. And if you establish an association or a foundation or a CSO in your country, then this means you can apply. But this is an important opportunity to continue your projects, continue your outcomes, so please follow. This is only one side. Secondly, we have another program, again a grant program, called as Civil Society Dialogue between Turkey and EU. So it's a civil society dialogue through the EU accession of Turkey. So it covers very, very different fields, like energy, agriculture, fisheries, common market, transportation, but also it covers culture. So again, it could be culture and arts could be an opportunity under this program. And luckily, Vedat Bey and Simon and also Yeşim Hanım is very, very, experienced in this program, because they are the team who we have already been working, through years within the implementation of this program. This is the 6th implementation of us, so 6th time it is implemented. So this is the 6th call for the civil society dialogue. Again, it's an opportunity for you to continue your outcome. Again, this call will be announced within this year, probably the first half of this year. But as in the common cultural dialogue, the main applicants of this program could be CSOs, associations, foundations, or the CSOs established in their legislation in any country in Europe. So these two calls could be, as I mentioned, good opportunities for you to continue to your projects, to outcomes. But of course, you are at the very beginning of the implementation, but I'm sure you have some plans for future, you have some good connections, good partnerships to establish in this project. So this could be an opportunity for the next coming years, for 2019. So please follow the calls, please follow the implementation of this program. That will be very, very helpful for you. Thanks again for your presentation. It's very, very helpful to understand more you, but be sure that we very, very closely to your implementations, to our outcomes in your projects. Of course, in cooperation with Yunus Emre. As I mentioned, I have to leave now. I apologize for that, but good luck and have a very good orientation program within these 2 days. Thank you so much. If you have more questions, I'm sure the team and you will give more about the grants, okay? So, thank you.
Hello again, and I would like to thank both of Bülent Bey and of course Simon and all the team. Before we start, I would like to announce that when we move into the technical parts, I will try to move in
Turkish and in English bilingually because this was the request. We have financial people among us, and it's important that they should follow this presentation. So let's see how it works out. It will work out, I hope. Secondly, we will have the regular training program. It will be 2.5 days. This is not the only one. This is just highlighting important points. Because you have started your projects on February 1st, and I don't know what you've been doing since then, but it's been only 10 days. You haven't been doing much, perhaps, but you had signed your contracts long time back, so you may be anxious to start. So what we're going to do here, we're not going to do much practical work, perhaps none of it this time around. We may not have time, but we will just bring your attention some very, very important points, okay? So this is, so you should start on the right track. You also have folders. Do you all have flash disks in them? Also, no? Okay, then they will be distributed here together with some other things. Also, you have to sign that you were here. Now, but I can tell you that these flash disks contain everything you need, both in Turkish and in English. The reason we have not printed them out was because our branding, brand logo, the logo and other things are not ready. I'm sure you're aware of the importance of it, this program identification. So we couldn't print them out. There's another minor reason. We were also pressed in time. We have just started and we got the approvals of the grant implementation manual and the procurement manual from the CFCU. We also translated them. Of course, the English versions are the, you must follow if there is a discrepancy in between. But I suggest they're in soft form with all the annexes, that you will be using, all the supporting documents. We may be able to go through some of them. So they're already there. What I suggest is please read the grant implementation manual first. Well, first, of course, these small 9-page notes. It's a summary of the grant implementation manual. You have them in printed form, in your folder. Then please go through the grant implementation manual. Actually, it's a readable summary of the PROG. Have you heard of PROG, the practical guide, EU rules, regulations, or legal terms? It's not easy to read. Although you must all read that sometime when you can't go to sleep and just read half a page.
Bedtime reading.
But it's just a good bedtime reading. It's nice to be.
That's what he has been doing for 20 years. Reading.
So I'm sleeping. Anyway, it's if you had read it previously, there are, of course, changes all the time in Prague also. We are using Prague January 2016 version. And so if you want to refer to it, it's an important document, group of documents to refer to. But please read the grant implementation manual and keep it on your side. When you have a question, I'm sure you will find the answer in there. If you can't find the answer, please contact us. We would be able to find the answer. If we can't, we will refer it to the CFCU. Because because, as Simon mentioned briefly, there are two sides in this contract. There's the CFCU and you. Actually, the coordinator beneficiary only seems to be coordinator beneficiary side. But the reason we have invited you all the co-beneficiaries, they're supposed to be equal co-beneficiaries, because they also spend money. They will spend money. And our experience shows that in previous programs, because we did not include them in our programs, they were not aware of some of the things, important things going on. So that's the reason why we invited you all, not just the coordinator beneficiary, but co-beneficiaries also. As the name implies, co-beneficiary, eş faydalanıcı, they're supposed to be winners. So I hope we will convey the message to all of you. As again Simon said, we will have an MIS where we will have just about all our communication with the MIS, and everything will be there. Everything that you need during the implementation period. Okay, now congratulations again. So you may have implemented EU projects before. Şimdi daha önce AB projesi uygulamış olabilirsiniz. Ama dediğim gibi her zaman farklılıklar olabiliyor. There are always some differences from one program to another, from one contracting authority to another. Now, CFCU here, CFCU Turkey, Merkezi Finans ve İhale Birimi Türkiye, bunlardan en katı demeyeyim de en ciddi çalışanlardan biridir. CFCU is very strict on these rules. And but when you now it was mentioned earlier in member countries, now the Prague seems to be relaxed. It's not relaxed. It left the rules to the projects, to organize. But CSU did it on your behalf, so we will follow certain set of rules. They're not against the Prague. They're all they all conform to Prague. CSU'nun geliştirdiği bir takım kurallar, yani kurallar demeyeyim ama bu kurallara uymak için mesela birçok doküman, birçok supporting documents have been developed by the CSU that we strongly suggest you use, because if you don't use, things would be delayed. But when you see them, you have them, by the way, on your sticks. You have all the supporting documents, everything, all the financial reports, everything is there. So again, starting from the beginning, I strongly suggest you should just look through them, and you will see that if you follow these rules, things will be much easier. Again, we will be here. Now, we have only 4 projects, but they are very complicated projects. I just glanced through them. I wasn't able to read them. Yani projelerimizin çok detaylı henüz okuyamadım. Gelecek hafta, but next week, with the project management team, we will sit down and we will, word by word, we will go through them. But just glancing through them, I can see I can imagine the complications for the future. I can see these projects are great for my colleague. She will have fun. I mean, just great, but they are very complicated. I've seen one budget, for instance, with over 600 per diems. Very difficult to manage. You know, these things, but we're here, you know, that's why we've been hired, we're being paid for. If you're not used to these rules, they're not new rules, by the way, but if you're not used to these rules and regulations, we're here to help you, just to be with you. And you have at least one contact person at the Yunus Emre Institute, and we will be working with them all the time, closely. So don't worry, they seem to be complicated. Well, I talked about the objective. This is not a regular grant training program. This is not even in the terms of but thought this would be necessary, this would be helpful to you. That's why we organize it. So just as I said, we would like to highlight the important matters. Now, let's start with your contract. Now, I see a red folder, that's your contract, right? Okay, you all have these red folders, and you have a copy of it. If you don't work with this, don't make any marks or anything on this one. Produce a photocopy and keep it on the side and use it for anything, for any purpose. Bu kırmızı dosyaları lütfen fotokopi çıkarınız ve karıştıracağınız zaman, okuyacağınız zaman, not alacağınız zaman onları kullanınız. Bunlar orijinal kopyaları bunlara dokun. Sözleşmiş. Dokunmayın. This is important. Okay, now pardon, soru varsa alabilirim. Sorun değil. Yani arada da zaten biraz zamanımız kaydı. Onun için yani en geç 11-20 geçe bir ara verelim. Bir dışarı çıkmak isteyen varsa aramızda, sigara içen var mı bilmiyorum ama belki hala olabilir. Belki bir aşağı kadar inip gelebilirsiniz. Yani bir 10 dakika ara vereceğiz, programları öyle düşünüyoruz. Sonra bir saat daha devam edip öğle yemeği arası vereceğiz. Ve sizi çok lüks bir şeyimiz var. Yok, gayet güzel yemekleri falan gayet güzel. Orada misafir etmek istiyoruz. Onu da program olarak da saat yarısında da onu yapıyoruz. Şimdi bir sorayım. Herkes sözleşmesini okudu mu? Yani imzalarınız, her sayfasını imzalarınız. Did you all have read your contracts? Because you signed your initial every page. Did you all? Normally, there are always people, you know? Usually the majority of the people who do not read most of. Okay, let me ask you this. How many of you have read the general conditions? That's great. Genel olarak yani sözleşmeleri okuyan sayısı imzalıyoruz ama fazla olmuyor. Burada gayet general conditions'ı bile okuyanlar. General conditions is directly taken from the Prague, by the way. That's the language of the Prague. Genel koşullar Annex 2 Prag'dan doğrudan alınmadır. Yani onun için onu okumak demek müthiş bir şey. Kabul edebiliriz. Şimdi sözleşmeniz siz görünüyor mu? Bunlar bana çok soluk gibi geliyor ama. Soluk. Nasıl biraz ışık kapasak? Hayır, belki uyursunuz diye.
Bu tarafı ortayı kapatıp kenarları açar mısın? Şu orta. Bilmiyorum.
Onlardan mı geliyor anlamadım ama. Neyse. Şimdi bir sözleşmeniz ve sözleşmeyle yani bütün yapacağınız işlemler, yazışmalar, raporlamalar İngilizce olacaktır. The language of your contract is English, so all the correspondence, except for informal ones, you know, maybe you can ask, you know, some questions, they can be British, no problem, but all correspondence and recording, everything will be in English. The language of the contract is English. And you have there, your contract is what's called the special conditions. Now, it's your contract, what, 3-4 pages. The others are the annexes. Sözleşmemiz 3-4 sayfalık özel koşullardır. Kalanları eklerdir. Ama ekler deyip geçmeyin. O ekler gerçekten önemli ekler. Hepsi de önemli ekler. Faydalanabileceğiniz eklerdir. Special conditions have 7 articles. Bakarsanız, bunlar işte birinci madde projemizin tanımı. Zaten yani hepimizin bir ismi şeyi var. İkinci madde süresi oraya konur. Bunun finansmanı, raporlama ve ödeme şeyleri. Now, you all have 18 months, I think, if I'm not mistaken. All the projects are 18 months. Therefore, you are a certain amount was calculated by the CSU based on your first year's total. And did you all get your money? No? Not yet?
It's being transferred today. We just received the first installment now.
Okay. Well, good. So you haven't spent any money. Good. Except for coming here, by the way, you can use them, you know, you can charge it to indirect. For the regular training, by the way, we will host 2 people from each project. We will accommodate. The training will be in Ankara, be together with opening ceremony. It will be a great one, and we will pay for the transportation and we will accommodate you here in Ankara. Normal eğitimde her projeden 2 kişiyi burada misafir edeceğiz. Bir şeyini ödeyeceğiz yol parasında. Daha fazla gelmek isteyen varsa gene diyorum baktım idari giderlerinizden ödeyebilirsiniz. Onda bir sorun yok. Mümkün olduğu kadar katılın. Tavsiyemiz olur. I strongly suggest you and your partners should participate in all project activities like this one. You know, where we are all together. You know, it's a dialogue program. You should be getting together all the time. And we hope there will be some synergies between the activities of the autonomy.
Are the dates confirmed for the general training?
No, we are waiting for, well, first, I guess Yeshin will talk about it in the afternoon, because they're working on that, they will organize it.
Because we're already working on our activity dates, so it would be really
That's-
crucial to know.
Yeah, we'll, this
That's a
afternoon,
question.
yeah, we'll be talking about this communication and interaction between all of us. The opening will be not only ours, but all of us. So we need you take part in the opening. So we have a general idea when it could be, contractually April. So we will see what we can do.
Does it mean that we can't hold any activity before the actual launch?
No, you can continue, you can do
You
your
can do
activity.
everything.
can do
Oh,
activities
yes,
before.
yes, please.
Launch means launching to the public actually, saying that we started such a thing, this is great, and giving you some more detail about your grant training, isn't it?
Yeah, the
But
training.
during that time, Vedat Bey will be here for you to help you
Yeah.
the grant
Now,
expenditure.
again, we will go back and forth. Bundan hep bahsedeceğiz. Biz bu asıl the normal training will be at the beginning of April, together with the launching, the opening ceremony we're planning. But anyway, you can start implementing your activities. You don't have to wait for anything. Here, plus, we will, it's not next week, but following week, we will discuss this with you. We would like to visit you, and we will spend one day, a whole day, so that we can go through your projects. If there is a need for modifications, we will work on those next week, and you come to an agreement, we will make those modifications while we are there to be submitted to the CSC. Okay? So actually, the most important part of the training will be when we visit your offices. We call it the first monitoring visit, but we use it, monitoring has several functions. One of the functions is support function. Meeting support function is monitoring. So this is not even a training here. As I said, this is highlighting certain points, but we are delivering you all the details. The grant implementation training will be in April. Hibe uygulama eğitimi Nisan başında yapılacak. Oraya mutlaka bekliyoruz gene. Bahsettiğim kişiye misafir edeceğiz. O güne kadar da projelerimizin bizim gitmek zorunda olduğumuz orada verilen adresler var ya, proje sözleşmedeki adrese gitmek durumundayız. Projeyi yürüteceğimiz adrese. Ama oraya partnerlerimizden de ilgili kişiler gelirse çok faydalı olur diye düşünüyorum. When we visit you, we will visit the coordinator beneficiaries, but if the co-beneficiaries also send representatives like the accountants or whoever is going to work on the financial part, or they may also have project coordinators, project assistants, whoever is involved in the projects should be there. We are not going to be dealing with the head of the organizations. They're usually protocol people, especially in your cases. Your organizations are rather large organizations. But we want to be with the people who will implement the projects. Biz ziyarete geldiğimizde projeyi uygulayanlarla beraber olmak, yani onlarla birlikte çalışmak isteyeceğiz. Burada bu şeyde 6. maddede bütün eklerini yazar. 7. maddeye bakınız. Yani linkte açacaktım şimdi ama gereği yok. Hepinizde var. Biraz daha hızlı gidelim. Onun için açmayacağım. 7. maddede şimdi bunun şeyi şudur. Genel koşullar Prag'dan aynen alınma ya. 7. maddede özel koşulların 7. maddesinde eğer genel koşullardan bir farklılık yapılıyorsa o derogasyonun gerekli onayları alınır ve o 7. maddeye yazılır. Orada da hangi derogasyonlar nedir? Mesela önemlilerden birini söyleyeyim. Bunu sürekli söyleyeyim. Sakın ola 200 euronun üstünde nakit harcama yap. doğrudan çizilir. Yani orada mesela bu genel koşullarda öyle değildir ama special conditions'da böyle. Now, there are, these Article 7 includes the derogations from the general conditions, which is an exact derivation from the front. So there are several sub-articles. One of the most important ones is this article about the cash expenditure. Please do not, please make your all payments through the banks, from one bank account to another. If you have to, it cannot be over 200 euros. Okay? Anything, I will not, you can read it later. Now, we have now this special condition also have the annexes. They're all part of the contract now. Any change in these, even the one, the first one is your description of actions. Birinci şeyiniz, iki, projeniz, sizin projeniz, description of action. Bundan sonra buralarda yapılacak her değişikliğin MFB'den geçmesi lazım. Sonuçta iki partnersiniz. Yani iki tarafı sözleşme. Birincisi sizin sözleşmeniz. Ama değişiklikler yapılabilir. Onları konuşacağız. Birinci ek sözleşmeniz. Eminim onları sizden çok daha iyi biliyorsunuz. Siz bu projelerin faaliyetlerini bizden çok daha iyi biliyorsunuz. Ona eminim. I'm sure being the institutes as you are, you know your activities much better than we do. But we are more familiar with the rules and regulations, so we have to put them together so you don't lose any money at the end. In some cases, Çağrı Bey is also a creative person in that project. In some cases, activities are performed beautifully. I mean, can't be any better. But they can still lose. Now, here, what we want you to do, perform your activities, but also get all the money for them. All the activities have associated budgets, right? We don't want any budget cuts. Should not happen in this program. It should not happen. It may because they're complicated, these activities, but we should make sure that it should not happen. The second annex is general conditions. It's the product. If you read, it's good for you. But we refer to it everywhere in our grant implementation manual. But we still suggest you should read it. It's your part of your contract. İkinci ek genel koşullardır. Okuması zordur ama bizim hibe uygulama rehberi zaten buradan hep birçok şeyi almıştır. Yani mesela ne bileyim madde 9 mudur? Şeydir. Modifikasyondan bahsettik. Orada o vardır ama detaylı olarak nasıl yapılacağını hem İngilizcesi var hem Türkçesi. Yani hiçbir eksküs yok. Hibe uygulama rehberi, grant implementation manual'ımızda var. So our grant implementation manual is quite comprehensive. It's both in Turkish and English, by the way. We have both of them. And so you can refer to it when necessary. It takes most of the things from the general conditions, but puts it in a different wording, and it's easier to understand. So, Annex 3 bütçe. Bunu arada vermemiz lazım. ara verelim, kısa bir ara verelim. Bunu bütçeyi açmak istiyorum. Öbürlerini de link koymuştum, açacaktım ama zaman şeyinde açmıyorum. Bütçeyi açalım, bir iki şey söylemek istiyorum bütçede. Let's take a break, but please let's make it short because we have to go to lunch. 12:30. And so we'll start, we'll just go through the budget little, okay? Just 5-10 minutes. Please don't make it more than 10 minutes, okay?
Belki nerede mola verilebilir onu da söylemekte
Ha,
fayda
onu
var.
bilmiyorum ben.
Sigara
Aşağıda-
içmek isteyenler